Good morning, fish keepers. It's Cam here from thefishroom.co.nz. Congratulations, we've made it to Friday, although it's not quite as big of an accomplishment because, today's a public holiday. So congratulations to everyone who has the day off, which is pretty much most people. Let us still celebrate with a cup of coffee. Well, it's a bit hot. All right. So I don't actually have a lot in my book today. Very little, and that's because today is one of those days where if it could go wrong, it has gone wrong, so I haven't really had the opportunity to sit down and write a whole bunch of notes, so good times. First of all, obviously it is Easter this weekend, so I thought we'd discuss the Easter hours. So today is Friday. We are closed today because it is a public holiday. Over the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, we are closed because that's when we're closed. We're closed over the weekends. And then Monday is also a public holiday, so we are also closed as well. So today through Monday, we are closed. I believe next week, I'll just quickly look at my calendar. I believe next week might be a short week as well. Yeah, so the following Monday is obviously Anzac Day, so we'll be closed for that as well. So there's a few disruptions coming up in the next 10 days or so. If you played the system well, hopefully you've got 12 or 13 days off in a row and having a bit of a mini holiday. But if you haven't, again, public holidays, we're closed. Good morning, Gary, and good morning, John. And happy Easter to you, John. So that just leads us into the normal spiel about the hours. We're 11 to 4:30 Monday to Friday, and we are closed on the weekends, and we are closed on public holidays, and obviously we are now in a public holiday. So we can cross that off. Obviously, you can shop on the website, thefishroom.co.nz, 24 hours a day, whenever you want, and we'll send your products and your stuff out to you, your fish and whatnot. Being it's a short week, couriers aren't going today, couriers are not going on Monday, so anything ordered between now and Monday will be sent on Tuesday. It means a little bit of a slight delay on things like plants, so we won't get our plant order in until Wednesday, all going to plan. So if we get everything on Wednesday, should be packed on Wednesday, should be with you. We're going to plan Thursday or Friday this week. The same thing for next week as well, with the suppliers and couriers being closed on Mondays. Everything just pushed back a day. So please be with us. There'll be a slight delay than what there normally is. I need some water. That coffee's very hot. Okay. I'd also like to apologise because obviously today is Easter, and if I'd been a little bit more proactive, I would have been able to arrange a guest for us to speak to today. I was a little bit slow on realising when Easter was for some weird reason. And so the guest that I was going to have on the 29th, I asked if he could come forward today, but he was unavailable, so which left me not a lot of wiggle room to get somebody else in. But it would have been nice. I'm sorry, I can't see. It would have been nice to have someone else to talk to other than me today, especially because I'm so organised, because today's like been one of those days. So I've put a very large fish order coming in for next week because all the tanks at the back are pretty much empty, excluding 2, I think. So we've got a lot of fish coming in next week. As per always, if there's anything you're looking for, please let us know, and if we can get them, we'll order them in. At least half of this order has been made up with people that have requested fish. So, there's a lot of stuff already pre-sold, ready to go to people, but there's some things that we're hopefully getting to stock up our tanks here as well. There are some very cool fish. I don't want to say too much, just in case they're sold out by the time they get to doing my order, but there are some very cool fish. Some fish we haven't had before, some fish we have had before, and some fish that we've had before that absolutely everybody loves. So I'm pretty excited about that. That'll mean that Wednesday will be some live unboxings, maybe Thursday, depending how the wholesalers are working with their orders. But there'll be some live fish unboxing, and there'll be a lot of them coming up. So it's going to be a very busy week for me with fish and plants, but that's all good. This week we have released a new fish. We released the very, very large swordtails. So these things are giants, like they're behemoth. They shouldn't be as big as what they are. They look okay out the back as far as visually, but as soon as they come under the lights, they look absolutely stunning. So I think they'll be a really nice addition to people that like swordtails or have a big enough tank for some very big swordtails. They're very pretty, they're very nice, and they're very plump and healthy. So they're good to go. I'll put them up on the website. Hopefully there'll be the chance in the next hour or so. And we also brought forward and released red whiptails and starlight bristlenose as well. The starlights are fairly small. but the Bristol, red whiptails are a fairly good size as far as buying from a shop goes. Both of them are looking stunning. Both of them are looking really active, bright, colourful, and everything that you want from catfish. So they're very good buying at the moment as well. I've got about 20 or so of each, so there's plenty for the time being. But they do sell very quickly. So if you are looking for red whiptails or Starlight Bristol nose, you want to be fairly quick with them. G'day everybody that has said hello and a happy Easter. Yeah, I'm very much enjoying some time with the family once I'm done with this. I've got maybe half an hour's more worth of work to go, and that's me for the weekend, which I'm excited about. So everybody else that's having time off, again, enjoy it with your family and enjoy it as for what it is. We have a guest coming up on the 29th of this month, so 2 weeks today. He's an international guest. He's American, and I'm going to give you a few little hints. I wonder if anyone can actually guess who it might be. So he is renowned. He is a very good actorist, but he's also really renowned for his artwork. He's a phenomenal good artist, and his artwork that he does is to do with nature and natural stuff, in particular aquarium fish and reptiles and things like that. So he's got a very good reputation around the world for his art. I know he's done a lot of artwork at trade shows and sells a lot on his website and Etsy and that kind of stuff. But he's a phenomenal artist. So in a couple of weeks' time, I'm going to be speaking to him. So next week, I might tell you who it is, just for fun. If anybody might know who I'm talking about, feel free to have a wee guess. Yeah, and if you've got any questions for any of our upcoming guests, I'm going to, when we're leading into them, I'm going to tease like I am now about it. And so if we kind of get maybe the week before, I'll tell you who it is. If people got some questions, we can fire them away as well. But I'm very much excited for speaking to this guy on the 29th. Yeah, his artwork is phenomenal. I've considered buying some of the originals and getting them into the shop. They're very, very nice pieces of work. So I'm pretty stoked about that. Of course, if you want to go into the draw for a $50 fish room voucher, all you have to do is leave us a review on either Google, Facebook, or anything that you purchase. We get a lot of people reviewing products that they purchase, which is fantastic. So thank you very much. You can only obviously enter if you do Google once and Facebook once, because you can't review more than once. But that's why we open up the review competition to anybody who has bought anything, because then you can purchase anything anytime you want and still leave a review for that and still be in the draw to win a $50 fish room voucher. So thank you very much, everybody who is leaving reviews on Google, Facebook, or on the products you bought. It does help us improve what we're doing, trying to make things better for everybody, trying to make our systems better, and just trying to make it just better in general as a whole. So thank you very much. And like I said, if you want to go into the draw for that, please feel free to leave us a review. That is it. That is my book done. Like I said, today has been a pretty messy day for me. Things are going wrong, so I don't have a lot of time to repair stuff. We've got one more thing to do, and that's ripping the scab off one of the products. So, it's still far too hot. If you do have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the comments or what have you regarding anything, and we can go from there. So today we're going to have a look at the Fish Science Tropical Fish, a granular food. I'm doing this because I opened a container yesterday. A couple months back, I said I was going to do a review and in-depth study to do with a blog or an article on why insect food is becoming so popular at the moment. So this is one of the things that I was going to write about. The Sierra Nature insect was another one, and fluval bug bites granules were another one. So this is the last one on the list of them that I'm going to be basically opening up and playing around with. So I opened this yesterday. First and foremost, obviously, I actually use this one because it's got a plastic thing. You can see it with that. So I actually think the granule size is pretty close to perfect. It's a little bit bigger than what you'd consider a micro pellet or a micro granule. But it is a very, very good palatable size for at least everything in here. And I'd say for most community fish, it's not big, it's not small. I can't quite show it properly like that. Yeah, it's not big, it's not small. It's really, really good. Is that helping at all? I'm not sure. It's really good size, and straight off the bat, I was very, very impressed at the size of the granule. Sometimes I find that the granules are a little bit big. Again, taking into account that I'm feeding smaller fish and they're coming in to be resold and whatnot. But sometimes I find the granules a little too big. I thought it might have been the Sierra granule was just a little bit too big from memory. So first off, it was a really good size. Second thing that I was really impressed about is that as soon as I put it into the tank with the Pantheon butterflies, they devoured it. They're commonly known to be a little bit finicky to feed, a little bit hard to feed. I've had mine eating on pellets for basically the whole time we've had them, and a bit of live food and that kind of stuff. But they've never really gone absolutely crazy on the pellet. They'll eat it, that's it. But as soon as it's hit the water, they were just straight into it and smashing it back. So that I was pretty excited about. Then obviously went through the rest of the shop, but everything else ate it really happily as well. What do we got here? There we go. Convinced food snobs. Fish Science Tropical Flag, and they love it. Yeah, so far, really, really happy with most of the Fish Science range. So, yeah, I have to agree with you. It's a great product. Anyway, so I went around and fed the rest of the fish. Everything worked pretty well. So, everything ate it pretty happily. So, first time around, that's a good thing. Although a lot of the fish we keep aren't particularly fussy, but yeah, they smashed it back pretty quickly. So I fed it for a couple of days now. There's been no random odors or anything like that in the back room. There's been no odors in the front display tanks. Doesn't look like there's any excess waste or anything in the tanks as well. So that tells me it's a high quality product with high quality ingredients, because not a lot of waste is going through, not a lot of weird odors coming out. It's just good in general. So here we look at the back, what's in it: insect meal, soy flour, herring meal, cereals, yeast, potato starch, fish, something or other I can't use, molasses, crustaceans, vegetables, salmon oil, algae, and one or two other small things. So when we spoke to Dr. David Paul, he explained why they have things like the potato and the yeast and that kind of stuff in there as a binder. Basically, it says inevitable you have to use something to it. But he also explained that like the potato starch, for example, brings in different nutrients as well that the fish need as well. So didn't feel or doesn't sound like there's a lot of random gunk and muck in here. It seems like a predominantly strong product full of all the good stuff that you want. So that was my first thoughts on this. Once I have finished feeding out the container throughout the shop, I will write down my ideas and my thoughts about all three of them. But so far, I've been really happy with only a couple of days worth of use on this. No part of it is. No part of it made me think, "Ooh, what am I doing here? Why should we be feeding this? This doesn't seem right." So, if you're looking for a small granule to feed some fish, probably worth giving it a go. I think, again, because of the granule size, it could probably take really well for the people that feed the micro pellets. If you've got some really, really small microfish, probably not a good idea. But yeah, sort of more mid-range fish, neon tetras, corridors, that kind of stuff would be a good option as well. On that note, now I've just remembered, I did think that it sunk just a little bit too fast for my liking. Great for your bottom dwelling catfish, or your clown loach, just like on the container. But some of your top dwelling, it did go just a little bit too fast for my liking. Wasn't excessive, didn't hit the water and bang straight down, but it was just a little bit quicker than what I would have liked. I like the fact that it did sink, and I did like the fact that some floated and then sunk, but the sinking speed was probably just a smidgen too fast for what I would prefer. That's probably the only downside that I've had of it so far. So yeah, that's what we're looking at today. Yeah, sorry, I'm just a little bit rambly again. I've had one of those mornings a little bit unprepared. So that's all that I have for you today. I hope everybody has a really good Easter. Thank you very much for joining us. And again, I'm sorry I'm a little bit unprepared today, and I'm sorry that I unfortunately couldn't get a guest in. So it is what it is. Hopefully I'll do better next time. Shame on me. Hey everybody, I'm out of here. I'm going to finish off a couple of bits I'm going to do, and then I'm going to go spend some time with my family. So I hope you all have a good one. Happy fish keeping team, and catch you later.